Greetings and salutations. And how are you today? Me? Fantastic. Thanks for asking. I got a little package in the mail today from the Amazons, and it has to do with the Malibu here. So we're going to work on the Malibu today. And if you remember last time we worked on the Malibu, I replaced that little $50 battery cable that's about 6 inches long. Hoping that would solve my issues, but it was not to be. And to bring you up to speed, if you're new here, by the way, welcome. Appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos. If you own a 2013 to 15 Chevy Malibu, this video may be of some interest to you. But with the problems that we've been experiencing with this vehicle over the last about 10,000 miles, is the instrument cluster will go dark, the infotainment system will go dark, and it's like everything reboots. So it's like if you were to turn the key off and turn the key back on while you're driving. And the thing that sucks about it is that the headlights come off too. And if you're driving at night, that can be not only very annoying, it could be really dangerous. But the other thing that happens, especially when it's cold, is that it feels like it's running out of gas. So if you fire the car up and let it run, the first thing in the morning, you fire it up, let it warm up, it'll run for probably 30 seconds to a minute, and then it'll just kind of peter out as if the car were running out of fuel. Start it back up, and it might do it again. And if you take off down the road, it'll feel like it's running out of fuel, and you mash the gas, and it'll keep slowing down, and all of a sudden it'll come back on. You're going like a bat out of hell. That's not ideal either. This morning, wife and I had to go to my son's school for a meeting with the teachers, and I went to go remote start it from inside the house, and the remote start wouldn't work. So I went out and I turned it on manually, walked in the house, and of course it stalled. And we went to go take off, and that from zero throttle with a light throttle input, it like surges. Right, like it's stuttering, or So let's see if I can duplicate it for you. You can see the check engine light is on, and you see the little tire thing. That's because the tire pressures are low right now. And get out on the road, and it'll really become obvious what I'm talking about. Watch the tack. Catch that? That chug, 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 chug. I don't know if what I have in this bag is going to fix that or not, but I got my scan tool here. Let's see what the new code is, because last time it was a P0010, which was a camshaft actuator code. So that's what I have in the bag, is camshaft actuators for the VVT. How you doing? Key off. Put the scanner in. Key on. Diagnostics. Yes. MIL status on. Codes found. 1. Enter. Read codes. Stored codes. P0010. Same one. A camshaft position actuator circuit open bank 1. So let's see if this fixes it. Let's look and see what's in the bag. You should get yourself one of these. I don't know if you can tell or not, but I really like this knife. Would you like to see a review on the CRKT Avant folder? Comment in the comment section. I'll be glad to do one. Well, Maybe they should have packaged them a little bit better. Maybe tape the boxes shut. So they look the same, but they're two different part numbers. And even though they look the same on the business end, part that goes into the engine, you got two different colors. So if you invert these, they go in the wrong. They probably will fit in the same hole, but if you invert them, it's probably going to start throwing codes. So make sure that you replace them one at a time so you don't mix the colors up. But that is a camshaft, a variable valve timing camshaft actuator. One's for the intake side, one's for the exhaust side. Let's get up underneath the hood and we'll swap these out right quick and see if it solves the problem. First thing you want to do is take the battery case cover off and remove the negative terminal off the battery. Okay, here's your cam actuators. To remove this connector, pull this tab back and then push it down. And pull it back out. A 10mm socket on there, and I'll pull this out. I can take this 10mm off. Okay, so this would be the exhaust side, and you'll notice when you take the stock one out, it'll have this little plastic bit on there. My replacement didn't come with a plastic part, but I took this one off very carefully because it's been subject to about 100,000 miles, a little over 100,000 miles on a lot of heat. This could be pretty brittle, so carefully take it off. It just clips on, and I put this on the new part, and with a little bit of the used oil on the O-ring, and I'll push that back in and screw the bolt back in. Reinstall the lead. Push the lock in place and repeat the process for the intake side. To gain better access, pull the air intake tubing off the air box that connects it to the I guess the intake plenum. Eight millimeter or 5/16. Pull that off, and now you have a little extra room. Bear in mind too that you're going to lose a little bit of oil when you pull these actuators out. Actually, these are solenoids. So put a piece of paper toweling down underneath here to catch any of the residual oil that falls out. Now reconnect the wiring. Push the locking tab back in. Reinstall the tubing, the plenum. Now in my case, I took this off, the engine cover off last week. When I did, what did I do last week? Oh, I changed the plugs. According to this Torx bit set here, it's a T27. All right, 27. Yep. Reinstall the oil cap. Reconnect the battery terminal. Now start it up and check it for leaks. Notice that my check engine lights, both the little tire with the exclamation point symbol and the engine symbol, are out. Let's go check it for leaks. Of course, put the engine cover on, you can't see them exactly. I don't see any major hemorrhage. Let's run a diagnostic on this thing. No codes. No pending codes. Looks like it might have solved our issue. Let's take this for a test drive. Before we go, I want to try something real quick. There we go. Fixed. Remember, from a dead stop, I had that hesitation between 750 and 1100 RPMs. And it's completely gone. This car will sit for another 2.5 hours, 3 hours, 2-3. Yeah, about another 2.5 hours, and hopefully it'll cool down a little bit, and we'll see how it behaves after it cools down, and especially tomorrow morning. That'll really be the test to figure out whether or not that solved the issue. If you have a code reader, something like this, and I'll put a link in the description to a really inexpensive code reader that allow you to pull those DTCs and even look up what that code means. They'll at least point you in the right direction. And YouTube is an excellent source for information. There's a lot of videos talking about this particular code that I was getting, the P0010, and you know, this is probably the intake side, but I have a link in the description also to these replacements for a intake and exhaust replacement, and I think it was under $40. I think it was like 37 bucks. It's really not that expensive, and you can do it in your driveway inside of an hour. If you need those things, a code reader, something like this, and the parts to fix your 2013, 2015, or 16 Malibu, the links are in the description. And if those aren't the parts you're looking for, then I would appreciate if you went through those links to get the parts that you want.
3 hours later.
Almost a few hours later. I go to the school, pick up the kids from their extracurricular activity. Let's see if this thing bucks and snorts like it usually did. And see if we can count this as a win. I sure as hell hope so, because I need a win. Now, usually I can make it the end of the street here. Once I make this turn, it wants to chug out. I'm gonna call that a win. That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Success. Feels good. So that's all I have for today. So if you haven't done so yet, underneath this window is a button that says subscribe. Click that and the little bell icon that's right next to it so you too can be notified of future uploads. If you found this video to be informative and entertaining, please hammer whack that like button and share this with your vast social media network. If you didn't like the video, smash the other one twice and be sure to share it with your vast social media network. So until next time, you have fun, stay safe, shoot straight, keep your powder dry, and have a splendid day. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.